Did you make that? Did you make that? Did you make that?
Silent Hill TDS. Jay Lee. Yeah. Okay.
Did you make that? Did you make that? Did you make that?
Silent Hill TDS. Jay Leo. Hitchhikers. Check. I'ma spit fire and propane. Keep a little baggie of some veggies, your romaine. Sappy ass bitch tryna eat up the whole brain. While this bummy ass nigga still asking for more change. Get your taste buds lit, popping right under your tongue. Lighting up a sharp strain, feel like it's chopping your lungs. Smoke another leaf to the head, feeling like Danny Phantom. Got a medicine jar in my car full of zany samples. Running with the factions when my rations getting low. Get down on the floor, blood races like I'm whipping blow. Shit show for show, I don't know, I just release and go. Can't hear what you're saying, this we too loud and you're speaking low. Johnny smoking haze in a blaze, I got heat to throw. Then I'm let the heater flow and send you to the heat below. Think it's a game, I pick the dice before you let them roll. Think I'm insane, but from the start I never had control. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale of the moonlight? Have you ever laid with a demon with the flames by your bedside? Smoking the air, sipping on spirits, get the mood right, get the crew hype. Middle fingers to the blue lights, dancing on your grave while I gaze into the moonlight.
Rolling through the city, heart is empty, but I'm feeling frisky, knowing I can make it even though these niggas want it in me. Got some rolling papers and some bitches, yeah, we getting litty, feeling out of place. Fuck it, I got my niggas with me. We on a long road, smoking trees and bagging hoes. Love is faded, I'm jaded, consequences are never told. Running out of characters, the real me is getting old. Facing the facade, 50 shades, and I fall below. I'm on some new shit, underworld a new bitch. Your loose lips tangle you up, I guess this news fits. I do this, spitting some fire in meth doom hits. The sun god bringing some light, now watch your mood switch. Hieroglyphs when writing scripts, namaste but conquering. Conjuring some spirits in the valleys where they die and quit. Just a gladiator on a righteous tip, still sharp and steel, but I'm colder than the Arctic gets.
Ooh. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Yes, I hope you are too. As always, it's your boy Walker. I'm on in the building. I.O.W. Sports Late Night Al Edition episode 220. 220. Yes, 220. We are rocking them episodes up. As always, that's my player partner pimp. Throw that water. I call him Throw that water. My brother from another, but y'all can call him Silent Hill TDS. Him and Jay Leo Pimble Devil Dance, the official and unofficial theme song to I.O.W. Sports Late Night Al Edition. Yes, Lord. And as always, you can always go over to YouTube. Check them out on Hitchhikers. Hitchhikers. Yes, Hitchhikers. Type in. You see it scrolling on the bottom screen. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. But while you're over there on YouTube, please go show us some love here at I.O.W. Sports. Type in I.O.W. Sports Network on YouTube. That's where all of our content is at. Every last episode, of course, I.O.W. Sports, I.O.W. Sports Late Night Al Edition. It's all there. It's all there. Money Line with Nick Shine, Wild Card, Mark, Quick Route Rant. You can catch it all there. Yes, you can. So again, the address I.O.W. Sports Network on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Excuse me. Don't mind me. I'm keeping my eyes on this Hall of Fame game. I know it's preseason, don't mean nothing, but it's football. It's football. Of course, you can always follow us on Instagram, I.O.W. Sports Network, same address. You can always follow us on Twitter as well, I.O.W. Sports 1. And then most importantly, please go on over to the Facebook page that we have set up, you guys. All right. I.O.W. Sports Network. That is the place where you, the fans, viewers, listeners, can go over, drop your little hot takes, drop your sports memes, and you can, get it popping over there. That's how you get the water cooler talking. Get that going. Drop your little sports meme. Make everybody laugh. And yes, we always emphasize on the network part. So if you have your own podcast, sports podcast, small business, please feel free to advertise yourself. We definitely emphasize on the network part. Um, and you can never forget this. Pinned at the top of that page, you will see this handsome chocolate god dressed in some J. Edward collection. And J. Edward collection is our official clothing line from Detroit Mail. So it provides all of I.O.W sports merch. But one thing you can't get from there is the official I.O.W sports snapback. In order to get this, you see that Cash App? You see, follow my finger. See that Cash App? I.O.W Sports Network. Send $30 to that address. Give us a physical address so we can mail and ship out this official I.O.W Sports snapback to you. And yes, it can fit everybody. If Detroit Mail can actually fit in one of our snapbacks, and he got a massive head, it can fit you as well. Let's hop in the comments, see who we got in the building with your boy tonight. As always, that's my guy. That's my boy MJ in the building. What's happening, player pimp? Tim, what's up, player pimp? How you doing? Another day. Yeah, let's get it popping. Let's get it on and popping. I thought you was talking about me and T. Yeah, sorry. You know, you could be a white chocolate guy, my brother, but I'm the pure chocolate dog. You feel me? Look, I'm gonna lighten the mood because I know we've been talking about a lot of some very I'm not gonna say depressing shit, but it's been a lot of, and we'll probably talk some about some more shit tonight about shit that isn't so happy go lucky. I'm gonna try to stay away from it. Obviously, I am done. I am done talking about Deshaun Watson. So please, we won't. Don't worry, y'all. We ain't got to talk about that. But y'all know how we get down. Get your drinks, get your popcorn ready. You gotta smoke some J's, cigarette, whatever. Get that ready because y'all know what we gonna do. It's to go home show before the weekend, and so we gonna vibe out. But this is how we gonna vibe out. I saw this and I gotta laugh. And so I was like, you know what? This would be a great opportunity to get some laugh from the fellas and the ladies who watch the show. It's just jokes, y'all. Don't take them personal. All right. But I saw this and I I couldn't help but to laugh, y'all. Check this out.
Hey, me and my family are going through hard times and we are homeless. Can you make a song for us? I can't imagine what you're going through. I got you.
Yeah, I got a crib, yeah, I got a bed. If you want some money, tell your mama she can give me head. Get you what you need, beat hand and feet. If you want a home, tell your mama I need a clap of cheese.
Hey, me and my family are going through hard times and we are homeless. Can you make a song for us? I can't imagine what you're going through. I got you.
Yeah, I got a crib, yeah, I got a bed. If you want some money, tell your mama she can give me head. Get you what you need, beat a hand and feet. If you want a home, tell your mama I need a clap of cheese. The homeboy C-Dog being sent on.
I know. I'm going to hell. I don't care. It is what it is. But so apparently, backstory: a homie just makes up songs, and I guess he said that somebody homeless said, "Yo, me and my people's homeless," and he said. Hey, these just jokes, y'all. We gotta find some sense of humor. Like people, we gotta lighten up now. I think that's one of the problems we got here in America, man. People gotta lighten up. You feel me? People gotta lighten up. You gotta. To me, the purest forms of joy in life is laughter. Um, You know, laughter gets you through some shit. You feel me? Laughter. So your mom's got to give me head. Oh, anyway. All right, now that we got that laugh out the way, let's talk some sports, y'all. Uh, I I know it's preseason Hall of Fame game, Raiders 20 to 3. But I like watching the preseason games because here's the deal. You might see some guys that can possibly end up on your team. You know what I'm saying? You know, there might be, your team might get an injury. Um, you uh may add some depth to your roster. Um, are you going to get some of the best quality playing football? It's hit or miss in preseason because obviously your backups are trying to compete for a job. So those who actually give a damn, you know, they gonna go out. They gonna go all out. They gonna ball out because they need a job. Otherwise, XFL here I come and USFL here I come, which is nothing wrong. I'm not dissing. It's that when you play professional football, you want to be in the big leagues. You want to be where the big boys play. You want to be in the NFL. And not to diss on XFL and USFL, which if you ask me my honest opinion, they can possibly do something with both of those leagues. USFL just finished in about a month ago, month and a half ago. So late June, early July they finished up. XFL is going to be coming back next year. Hopefully they worked out some of the kinks. Was actually, if y'all remember, XFL was actually doing pretty well before COVID took them out and pretty much buried them. But what's interesting with the XFL and the USFL? If I were them, I would do not necessarily a draft, but I would use HBCUs as my pipeline. Obviously, you see Deion Sanders trying to do his thing with Jackson State. You got Eddie George and Tennessee State. You got Hugh Jackson going to Grambling State. So you're starting to see names that you heard of associated with the NFL going to coach some of these HBCUs. And for my non-black folk, if y'all don't know what HBCUs are, is historically black colleges and universities. Just so you know, I'm not trying to show your intelligence. I'm just making sure y'all know what the acronym is. All right. So back to what we was talking about. I would use these HBCUs as your pipeline because there's about to be a movement, and I don't know if people's paying attention to it. Like I said, Eddie George, Deion Sanders, Hugh Jackson, names that you associated with the NFL are coming back to HBCUs, and that comes with talent, especially what Deion's doing. It comes with talent. These coaches are going to start. I'm not going to say they're going to affect the balance of talent from HBCUs and Power 5 conferences right now. But obviously, with Deion getting the number one overall recruit in Travis Hunter this past recruiting season, there's signs that there's going to be some great talent starting to, leak back to the HBCUs. And I want you to hear what I'm saying. I'm saying leak back, come back to the HBCUs, because we got to understand the history of college football, especially in college football. All the talent was in the HBCUs. And it wasn't until all them coaches in the Power 5 schools got over their bigotry and hate for black folks that they started actually recruiting in HBCUs and having them transfer over to their schools. Um, so and that's why I'm saying talent going back to HBCUs. Uh, if I'm XFL, USFL, I'd be like, hey yo, come be our pipeline of talent. Um, and I think those leagues can survive if they look at some of the mistakes that the NFL is doing. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Obviously, you see how the NFL is wishy washy on how they do protocol as in punishing people. We talked about that on the day show. Uh, Finding adequate health insurance while you play and after you're done playing. You know, uh, it's things like that. If they can find a way to do it better than the NFL, uh, and look, the money's not going to be there as a player right away. The NFL has the advantage of being around for hell, uh, early 1900s. You know, so before they even named the NFL, so they get that luxury. Obviously, you see the TV revenue is in the billions. Eventually, at XFL, USFL will get there, but why not try to get that talent now? Because let's be honest, when the talent is there, you're gonna watch. The viewership will go up if the talent was there. Say what y'all want about the USFL this past season. I thought they actually had a pretty decent season. I'm not gonna say all the football was top notch because it wasn't. But you do have the fortunate, uh, uh, things as in some of those players that were playing the USFL coming off of practice squads from NFL teams, so they've been in the NFL. Say what you want about guys that played on the practice squad. You know how hard it is to get in the NFL. You can't joke on the cats that they get on practice squad. Guess what? They still make six figures. You know what I'm saying? They still make six figures. They getting doctor and lawyer type of salaries. And as far as I know, I can live off of that shit. But USFL, they're gonna need to, find a way to, I guess, balance their talent because there were some teams that was just like dookie, dookie. Like, what are we doing? So, I mean, it's all good. I just think that, and I'm not saying that the USFL and the XFL would be competition to the NFL. All I'm saying is that if you actually start getting the right amount of talent, you can be an alternate league. Now most of these cats are playing football in middle school and sometimes in Pop Warner all the way up to high school. And once you get through college, there's only one place for you to go if you want that top spot, which is the NFL. All I'm saying is USFL, XFL, try the way to start luring some of this talent, especially in HBCUs, because a lot of these HBCU cats got the talent. They just get slept on them just because the platform ain't as big. So why not use the XFL, USFL as that platform to give some of these cats at HBCUs who won't get looked at, give them a chance, and hell, build your own league. Come out of college, you be like, hey, I don't have to go to the NFL to be seen. I can, you know, I can ball out in the XFL and USFL because we got adequate talent, and I'm busting their ass. And what do we always say? The talent comes, the money gonna come. Eventually, hopefully we be alive to see it. Maybe 10, 15, 20 years down the line, XFL and USFL is, you know, when they hit the $1 billion mark, that'll be a sight to see. Is And the only reason I say all this is because you just see how the NFL is just, they do so many things wrong. They really do. Y'all do know that the NFL knew about CTE back in the 60s and 70s. And it wasn't really too much a big deal to what 2010s. You know what I'm saying? NFL been knew about that. NFL, been uh, knowing about certain things and certain issues, and they just that's my sweeping noise, y'all. They sweep shit under the rug. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, matter of fact, I gotta play this clip because for once, somebody on ESPN had some logic. And they weren't worried about what their bosses is gonna say. They actually had some logic. Y'all know Dominique Foxworth, former NFL player, been a commentator for a minute, but he had this to say, and it pretty much is feeding into what I'm saying right now.
And a lose-lose situation of, okay, where's the miscommunication?
Right.
here?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I wouldn't have argued that they don't care about women, and I don't think I'm being critical of the league in any way.
Yeah.
I view myself.
The initial suspension was a clear kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
punch in the
it
face.
seemed like it was consistent with what the league's punishments have been in the past.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm trying to do is give a kind of clear-eyed, honest assessment of what we can expect from any for-profit entity, which is what the league is. And I get frustrated when we find ourselves in situations where we expect them to be moral and we're disappointed when they aren't.
Yes.
They are going to react to the way that we react and to the climate and atmosphere. And the climate has changed somewhat. And we're nowhere near where we need to be with respect to the way that we treat women in this society overall. But it's changed in the positive direction somewhat. And that's what the league is responding to. And I commend them for that. But I guess what I would push back on is anyone who wants to celebrate Roger Goodell or the league for coming in and addressing this problem now the way that they are, because I don't think it's for the motivations that we say that it's for. And Lou, you brought up a great point about the ownership. That is the real sticking point, because this process from the players, if you think about it, the players had an independent person deciding for them, and that was fine. And then they even had the commissioner who can come in over top of it and address that penalty if it wasn't harsh enough, or if it was too harsh, he can tweak it if you appeal to him. If you think about it from the owner's side, that is the part, and I am not doing whataboutism. I hate it as a general concept. So we can put a period on the Deshaun Watson situation and then talk about Daniel Snyder and other owners who create an environment that is harsh for women.
Yeah.
The problem with the way that the discipline is set up there is, while Lewis pointed out again that the CBA says that the owners are held to a higher standard. They're held to a higher standard by whom? Their employee. Roger Goodell works for them. And not only does he work for them, the people that he answers to are other owners who are not interested in creating a precedent or a climate in which owners are being investigated and penalized.
Oh, hallelujah! Hallelujah! We got a talking head that's talking sense for once. My goodness, that was a breath of fresh air. That was a breath of fresh air. Like, my goodness. Finally, somebody on a big network uses their damn noggin and spits some real shit. I mean, Dominique, he hit it perfectly. He hit it perfectly. Like, us as people, we can't keep getting surprised when a play-for-profit company doesn't think morally. We can't keep getting surprised that they fumble the ball when it comes to these subjects. We can't. Roger Goodell is an employee. He has 31 bosses, which is them good old boys called the owners. Point blank period. So what's Roger Goodell's best interest? Well, I got to make my bosses happy. I got 31 of them. Dominique hit it on the head. The NFL, they are a reactionary type of entity. They're not going to be proactive. Proactive, what is that? They don't know what that shit is. They're not going to be the ones. Yeah, I remember your comment earlier. So they're not going to be the ones to say, hey, let's get ahead of this. They fumbled the ball with the Kaepernick shit. Now, y'all know how I feel about Kaepernick, you know. Y'all know how I feel about Kaepernick. We ain't gonna rehash that because I can fill the whole show with talking about Kaepernick and his shenanigans. But let's be honest. They fumbled the ball. And then tried to, years later, say, oh, well, we didn't handle that right. No shit, you didn't handle it right. Because you were reactionary. And what Dominique said is they're trying to appease to what the climate is. And come on, Matt. Anthony, if you're out there, Tim, y'all have heard me talk about it all the time. The only reason why they are harping on Deshaun is because of the number and how that has been the reaction of the climate. People's emotions, thoughts, opinions are not based off of facts. A lot of people aren't talking with this case about facts. They're going off emotions. It was the same with the Kaepernick situation. You know what I'm saying? But 9/11, we must stand together. You know what I'm saying? Even in that times, did y'all know that the NFL never made players be present for the national anthem? NFL does shit to appease, and it's not necessarily done in the most genuine fashion. What have y'all always heard me say about this whole racism shit on the back of the end zones and on the decals of the helmet, all this symbolism shit? I don't give a fuck about that shit. What are y'all actually doing in the streets? Because y'all do know them good old boys, they rub elbows with the senators and the politicians on Capitol Hill. Y'all know that, right? So if they really wanted to end some shit, they could. They could. If they really wanted to make a difference, they could just, hey, Jim Bob, yeah, we got to start treating the colors right. Yeah. But no, not we got to treat them right so that we can get the money. If I'm lying, I'm flying, and I'm 10 toes down. And that ain't the theory, Jack. See, here's the thing. Y'all gotta understand, man. People tell you who they are by what they say and what they do. People tell you who they are by what they say and what they do. Owners do what the fuck they want. Who's going to tell them different? And that's the thing. You look at Stephen Ross. He don't give a fuck about that damn $1.5 million. He don't give a fuck that he can't go to the game till mid-October. No worries. Have this little 1.5. What's $1.5 million to a billionaire? Oh, I can't go see my team play? Oh, no worries. I'll just watch them from my yacht. Come on. Like we as people and consumers of the product, we can't keep getting upset about this shit. and expect the NFL to be held to a higher moral ground. They don't operate off of morality. They operate off of that money, dollar bill, y'all. Cream. Come on, man. I know I got some Wu-Tang heads in here. What they say? Cream. Cash rules everything around me. Come on now. Cream. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get that money. Dollar bill, y'all. Yeah. And it's crazy. As a matter of fact, I want to finish up with what Dominique and Lou had to say, because they
harshly as players. So again, Deshaun Watson, based on the findings of Judge Robinson's ruling, was wrong and deserves to be punished. Period.
Yes.
Daniel Snyder and other owners who participate in these sorts of things should, and we can have this conversation when we get to the Stephen Ross, which is not nearly as severe because it does not involve violence against women, or I guess, yeah, it does not involve any sort of sexual misconduct. So that's another conversation to have here. But when we're talking about this, let's understand that whatever happens to the players, it goes through a process that involves an independent person, and then it involves someone that does not owe them anything in Roger Goodell. What the owners do is they go to the guy who they hire and say, give me a penalty. And then they appeal to the other guys who are potentially participating in other things that they don't want us to know about and say, is this all right? Yeah, let's keep it this way. And that is a bigger problem, honestly, to me than anything. They have more power, too.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be rude and jump in here, man, but look, that's just the damnedest thing, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
Think of the position. Think of just how awkward and just how nonsensical that whole thing is. Roger Goodell is employed by the owners, but is also in charge of punishing the owners when they run afoul of the personal conduct policy. But they're the ones who set his salary. They're the ones who he works for. I mean, where else in society is that the
like, come on. I've never seen talking heads on any of these big networks spit that real shit like that. Like, come on. Lose head. Where else in society does it operate like this? Where? Name a place. Name it. These owners got too much power. Too much. It baffles me. And it's crazy. My breath of fresh air.
Where the employee is in charge of holding the boss, the people that hire them, to a higher standard, or to a standard that is set forth in in a personal conduct policy. I mean, how can you possibly win in that situation? How can it be fair and equitable in that situation as it pertains to him having to hand down punishment for the people that hired him and the people who he oversees as the commissioner, that being the player? How can you possibly have it be a fair and equitable system in that kind of setup? It's impossible. There's such a conflict of interest there. It's almost impossible. And look, I am not sitting here crying for Roger Goodell. Okay? I'm not doing that. But the system is set up to where I just don't see how it could necessarily be applied fairly and across the board when you're talking about owners and players. It's impossible to do.
Well, it's when you look at players versus owners, right? We obviously are talking about Deshaun Watson here, but Calvin Ridley's suspension, as compared to what we just saw happen to Stephen Ross and the Miami Dolphins, that's integrity of the game. Right. Both of those instances are integrity of the game. Calvin Ridley was gambling on games that he was not.
I don't know who Shorty is right there. She's spitting some shit too. The NFL has always talked about protect the shield, integrity of the game. Calvin Ridley sits out a year, didn't get rich off of betting, made a bet. I get it. It's in the rule book. Can't do it. Okay, punish him. But you got habitual tampering. You got habitual tampering by Stephen Ross. Yeah, just can't come to the stadium till mid-October. $1.5 million fine. I hope you can pony up, billionaire. Make sure you write a good check that it don't bounce. Where's the balance at? Look, I've been a manager at restaurants, and I've treated everybody same line. Some employees put in more. I can always count on them. But when they getting out of line, I still treat them the same way as if somebody who's not putting in as much effort. You have to punish people. There's no difference. A foul is a foul. If I'm expecting all my employees to be on time, and no matter how great of employee you are, I'm holding you all to the same standard. And in this case, and in my opinion, when you're an owner, you should be held to a higher standard. You should be. Because at the end of the day, you the billionaire sitting in the skybox, getting rich, sitting on your ass. You should be held to a higher standard. You get the bigger piece of the pie. Why would you not be held to a higher standard? Yeah, Tim, joke for this. An absolute joke. We're gonna finish with what Shorty had to say, because he on to something too.
Not a part of, but yet they suspended him for an entire year. And now you see what happens with Stephen Ross, and I think we can all agree.
$11 million Calvin Ridley lost. Stephen Ross, 1.5.
And he is worth $8.2 billion. So that is tipping money for a owner like that. And so, yes, there is definitely a double standard in terms of what the league views as right and wrong when it pertains to owners as compared to when it pertains to its players. Now, I do believe Roger Goodell could have maybe taken the easy road out here and said, we collectively bargained that a third party was going to decide, and she has come to her conclusion. 6 games is a suspension.
Yep.
Let's get back to football. Right. He easily could have said that. Let's get back to the bottom line. There's so many great storylines, so many great teams in this league, and we could have shifted our focus back to the game. But I think he has made life a little bit more difficult for himself because, to your point, Victoria, there are women in this league.
Yes.
In ownership, on the field, on the sidelines.
Fans.
In the actual field as officials.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing this become a more inclusive league. What's the message you send to those women that you're trying to make feel comfortable and empowered?
And inviting.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you say 6 games should remain the standard. And so I think he ultimately had to make the tough decision to appeal. And I'd be curious, Dominique, you have such an interesting perspective because you were a member of the union.
Yeah.
The NFLPA has to respond to this. They had the 2 days, right? So we're up against
by
it.
Friday. Yep.
Yes. You were a member of that. I'm curious if the NFLPA, certainly its job is to protect its players. Right. But at the same time, don't you think some of the members and the conversations going on in the NFLPA is, yeah, we agree that it should be tougher. We need to take a harder stance on sexual violence.
Boy, I don't know about y'all. That gives me hope for some of these talking heads, because they were spitting some real shit. So I'm expecting for the players union to respond to what Goodell did in appealing the suspension, because hell, that's what the players union is for. Ain't that what unions are for? To protect the employees. And so I'm expecting them to do their job, and that falls on DeMaurice Smith. I don't know how y'all feel about DeMaurice Smith. Sometimes I feel he's a little wishy-washy. Sometimes too, he's a little wishy-washy. Hey man, I couldn't say it no better myself. I breath of fresh air, breath of fresh air. But you know what? We gonna move on because I saw something. Because now that preseason is coming up, and you got a lot of players who are in big contract situations. I'm trying to find a list because there's a lot of people. There's top 25 people that they're going into contract year, and uh so let's take a look at this list on NFL.com. Uh, y'all can definitely check it out yourselves. But y'all know how players do. Contract year, time to ball out. Got to get paid. And you see it every year. There's going to be players that's going to, ball out to make sure they get the contract year. And then there's going to be a separation of players who live up to that contract that they just got paid. And there's going to be some that's just going to be like, hey, I got paid. Time to chill. And you don't want to you don't want to see it like that. You want to see cats going in to go ahead and ball out. So here's one. They're saying Lamar Jackson. Now I don't know what the situation is with Baltimore, if they're gonna sign him or not. But he's going into a contract year. Lamar Jackson gonna get paid. Lamar Jackson gonna get paid now. If I'm Baltimore, I'm paying him. I'm not letting him leave the building. What's your other option? What's your other option? With Lamar Jackson, you're closer to a Super Bowl than going and get a quarterback in the draft, or getting a quarterback in free agency. I don't know what they what the money situation is, but remember, Lamar Jackson's still only 25. NFL.com has Tom Brady ranked at number 2. Now that's contingent if he returns. Obviously, he had the 41-day retirement, decided he still got time to play. I know he's 45, but last time I checked, Tom Brady's still playing at a real high level. And there's no guarantee that he's going to retire. He may hint at it, but we thought he was done last year, right? If he's still playing at a high level, why not have him on the top free agency list going into a contract year? Quentin Nelson ranked at number 3. Indy's going to get him signed. Reason why you get him signed is because you got an all-pro running back named Jonathan Taylor that's running the ball right behind him. And that line, the offensive line that Indianapolis has been one of the best offensive lines and has helped Jonathan Taylor be Jonathan Taylor. He's not hitting the free agency list. He will not be a free agent next year. Do not be surprised whether it's sometime during training camp or sometime in the middle of the season. Quentin Nelson will reset the market for what guards are going to get paid. Believe that. That'll get done. Because, first of all, Indy would be foolish to let Quentin Nelson walk out the building. Number 4, Darwin James. Now, he's interesting is because right now he's in the hold in. So remember, you used to be hold out. You would not show up training camp. You would still do all your workouts independently. But he's there, but he's just not practicing. And here's my beef with Darwin James. He's pretty much in the 4 years he's been in the league missed about a year and a half due to injuries. Now he wants to get paid, and I gotta admit, when Darwin James is healthy, pound for pound, one of the best safeties in the NFL. But in 4 years, you have missed literally almost about a year and a half of football. I'm not too in a rush to pay you, Playboy. I'm not. Now, if you show me that you're durable and you show me that you can stay healthy and stay on the field, then we can have a conversation. So this year, this upcoming season, is going to be the season for him to show that he can stay durable. If he gets hurt, I think it fucks up his money. So if I'm the Los Angeles Chargers, bro, we just gonna have to. You either gonna have to show up and play and prove you get your money, or you continue to sit out. That's my philosophy. Y'all know me. I'm all about players getting played. I'm all about players getting paid. But it's still a business. I got to make sure that I get my return on investment. I can't get no return on investment if you sit on the sideline. That's just business. Period. Number 5, Roquan Smith, Chicago Bears linebacker. Come on. Pay him. You already dumped Khalil Mack, trading him to the Chargers. You know. Roquan Smith is still 25. One of the premier linebackers in the NFL. And Chicago is what? They're all about defense. Why would you not sign him? Make it happen. Number 6, Orlando Brown, left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. We mentioned his contract situation. I think he did a huge disservice to himself. I get why he did it, because the guaranteed money wasn't long enough for him. But he took his time getting a agent. I don't know why he didn't have one earlier in the offseason. Just got an agent literally right before the deadline to make a contract. So now he reported he's playing on the franchise tag at $16.5 million. But guess what? He could have had 23. He left money on the table. But I get why he did it. I just wouldn't have did it. Me personally. He'd have been the highest paid left tackle in the NFL. He left money on the table. Number 7, Eric McCoy of the Saints, center. Let's be honest. When you build your teams in the trenches, you should build your team from trenches out. Because here's the deal. When you got a great offensive line, it don't matter who you got back there. You give a quarterback time, whether he's Tom Brady or Kirk Cousins, they play more efficient when they ain't on the ground. All right? Point blank period. Saints better sign him. Number 8, Jesse Bates, safety for the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, he was key to the Bengals' run last year to get to the Super Bowl. Only 25. It's not often that you get all-pro safeties, and still he's entering his prime. Get him. Sign him. Elton Jenkins for the Green Bay Packers, offensive line. And number 9, pay him. Again, see, Aaron Rodgers looks good when he's standing upright, right? You got a $50 million a year quarterback. Okay. So protect the investment. Protect the investment. How good is Aaron Rodgers when he's on the ground? He ain't worth the damn. Pay him. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson at number 10 for the Saints. Safety. Here's the deal. I'm going to say it again. Don't sleep on the Saints. Good defense. Jameis Winston's coming back healthy. And I've never been a Crab Legs fan, but he made a believer out of me last year. Was playing damn good football before he got hurt. Finally got some weapons. Michael Thomas is back. Ain't played in almost 2 years because of the ankle. Alvin Kamara, he got to get that little legal situation cleaned up. But still, you're expecting he's going to be there. And he's only 24. And he's integral to that good Saints defense. I will find a way to keep him. Mike Gesicki, ranked 11th. Tight end for Miami Dolphins. People sleep on Mike Gesicki. I think he's one of the better tight ends in the league. I don't know where I necessarily rank him among tight ends. I'll probably put him in top 8, top 7. 26 years old. Guess what? You need him, Miami. Because what's a quarterback's favorite? I don't want to say check down, but safety valve. There it is. Safety valve. Tight ends. You know, when you don't necessarily have the best weapons on the outside at wide receiver, a tight end helps a quarterback big time. Now, Miami does have the weapons. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, even got a third wide receiver in Cedric Wilson that came over from Dallas. But still, Mike Gesicki, to me, is one of the top tight ends. Pay him. Rank 12, you got Javon Hargrave for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's a weird one, and I say this because you got Fletcher Cox still there at defensive tackle, and you just drafted Jordan Davis from Georgia. So I think Hargrave might be, I'm not going to say he's the odd man out. I think Fletcher Cox might be because he's older. But he'll be 30 by the time he hits the free agency market next year. So Hargrave is not a young pup neither. Do you spend the money on that? I think him so far out of this, all the people on the list, I think he might be the one that actually might hit the free agency market. Just because y'all know the old saying, once you start hitting 29, 30 in the NFL, you're pretty much on the other side of your career. Tom Brady's an anomaly. Don't believe that hype. 13th, you got Marcus Davenport, edge rusher for the Saints. Again, I would try to keep as many pieces on that Saints defense as you can. That's a Super Bowl caliber defense. You don't want him to hit the free agency market. 14, Dalton Schultz, tight end for the Cowboys. He's 25 years old. Again, tight ends are quarterbacks' best friends. And I would probably put Dalton Schultz in the top 10 of tight ends. I'll probably put him at 10. If he makes it out of the top 10, maybe 11. But he's not a bad tight end. I think he's actually pretty good. You don't want to take away weapons from Dak. Because hell, you don't want to hear no excuses on why he ain't getting the job done either. So if I'm Jerry Jones, yeah, keep him in house. Keep your high paid quarterback happy, and Dak Prescott. So I would expect him to remain in the Cowboys uniform. 15, Poona Ford, defensive tackle for Seattle Seahawks, 26 years old. When it comes to with Seattle, obviously you get a lot of haul back from trading Russell Wilson. I mean, honestly, that's been Pete Carroll's calling card is defense. Make it happen. Because just as much as you want to be great on the trenches on the offensive side, you want to be just as good on the defensive side as well. Yannick Ngakoue at 16, For the Indianapolis Colts at 27. Uh, look, he's 27. He's on his 15. The talent's there, but I think it's something else that's not right with Unique Ngakoue. It's almost like Jadeveon Clowney. The talent's there, but for some reason you can't stay on the team. And to me, that's telling more about the player than anything else. Ranked 17, you got James Bradbury, cornerback for Philadelphia Eagles. He's 29. You know, you want to get younger. I mean, hey, let's be honest. And there's no diss to Bradbury, but only time you got veteran quarterbacks is because you want to help bring in a wise, more cerebral type of cornerback. But he's 29. You're going against these young lions on wide receiver side that are fast, very athletic, and if you too close to 30. NFL, that's decline age, so he's definitely closer to 30. So I'll probably expect him to hit the free agency market. Rate 18th, Levante David for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker. I love Levante David, love him. Only problem from him, going into free agency, he'll be 33. I know Bobby Wagner got paid with the Rams. Well, he didn't get a big contract, got like a 2-year, was it $30 million contract, something like that. So he's getting like $15 million a year. I can expect him to probably go that route because the production's there. The only problem is age again. At 19, Baker Mayfield, quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Expect him to be on a free agency market again. At this point, look, if Baker Mayfield couldn't get it done with that roster that was in Cleveland, I mean, it's safe to say that he's on a lesser team in Carolina, and so I'm not expecting much. To me, I think he had the perfect opportunity and perfect situation, and you didn't get the job done. So expect him to be on a free agency market. Hot take. Watch this, y'all. Baker Mayfield better be a backup. Yeah, he better be a backup come next year once he hits free agency market. He'll be given an opportunity to compete for the starting job. But to me, his days as a franchise quarterback are done. You had the franchise. Cleveland rather deal with the media hoopla with Deshaun Watson to keep your ass. That says a lot. Enough said. 20, you got Saquon Barkley at 25 years old. Saquon got to show it. We all know the potential's there, the talent's there. We're not sure about your durability. Lucky for him, he's 25. So he has the chance to at least take another year to show that he can stay durable, and then he could possibly cash in. So now if the Giants make that bid, I don't know. I don't know if the Giants necessarily, like I said, first of all, when it comes to running backs, you definitely got to be skeptical if you want to pay him or not. So I wouldn't be surprised if they I don't know, Playboy. 21, you got David Montgomery, same age as Saquon Barkley. When it comes to Chicago Bears, you need all the help you can for Justin Fields. So I would expect them to keep him. Justin Fields is still young. I know it's about to be a second year, but you want to make sure that you have weapons around him. Help him out. And David Montgomery's a good pass blocking running back too. So I would expect them to keep him. Ranked 22, Bradley Chubb, Denver Broncos, edge rusher. Luckily for him, he's 26. You want to keep your edge rushers because look at the quarterbacks you got in that division: Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr. I don't expect him to hit free agency market. Just wouldn't make sense. 23, you got Daniel Jones. I feel about him like I do with Baker. Backup that will be given a chance to compete for a starting job. You've already shown it. You struggle as a franchise quarterback. Matter of fact, did they even pick up his 5th-year option? I don't think they did. So yeah, Daniel Jones is in the same boat as Baker. You need to prove something, but don't be surprised if come that free agency, use a backup competing for a job, for a starting job. Yeah, he's Basuda. No, they didn't. I got you. 24, Rock Ya-Sin, cornerback for the Raiders, 26 years old. Hello again. You play for the Raiders. Going against Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert. They're going to throw the ball. You need somebody to cover them. I won't be surprised if he stays with the Raiders. You got too much good quarterbacks in that division not to have quality cornerbacks to cover these wide receivers that they're throwing into. And number 25. You got J.J. Watt, age 33, still with the Arizona Cardinals. Here's my thing. J.J. can't stay healthy, man. We know about all the great you've done humanitarian-wise. We know that how great you were as a defensive player of the year, multiple-time defensive player of the year guy, but you're 33 and you can't stay healthy. You made enough money. I know you want to win the Super Bowl, but guess what? Not everybody wins the Super Bowl. You think Dan Marino won one? Of course he did. He'll go down as one of the most prolific passers in NFL history. He didn't win one. J.J. Watt, man, there was a time period you like, yo, that dude's unblockable. That's not the J.J. Watt no more. I actually feel like that might, instead of him hitting free agency, I think he might be the one that will retire. Out of anybody, I wouldn't be surprised if he retires or hangs it up because I think his body's starting to fail him. Because as soon as he gets going and starts playing well, he gets hurt. But you know, what do I know? Anyway. All right, y'all. That's our show. We ran about 3 minutes over, but it's all good. We need to finish that little list because we're going to end this show on a good high note. Talk about something else besides some foolishness. But y'all know the deal. I want y'all to have a fantastic weekend. Spend some time with your loved ones, your friends. Hug on them, love on them. Give people their flowers while you can. Y'all remember, life is short. And don't do nothing crazy this weekend. Keep your asses out of trouble. All right? And enjoy life. Until then, y'all come back Monday, 23rd hour. Same way I call Mar. Peace and love, y'all.
Yo. Sound like hell, TD Hurst. Let's get it. Let's go. Alright, let me get serious this time. Yo, I'm on my God of War shit. All the war spits, let the bass kick, nigga, feel the fucking floor lift. Watch your pores rip from these razor blade fingertips. Smoke hit your face like a hammer fist. Outstanding with suicidal flow. Nose diving to a free fall. Speedball, cannonball, jerking out on Adderall. I just watch the bodies fall. Supercharged like Dragon Ball. When I spit this fire out my mouth, you hear the dragon skull. Daily with explosiveness, just off of this and moving silk. Grinding rappers, flesh in the syrup and call it muscle milk.